Welcome back to Outside Views. Today we are asking an important question. Are the Tories still a people's party? With the recent election of Kemi Badenoch as Conservative Party leader, there is a sense that the Tories are at a crossroads. Badenoch, a figure known for her strong right-wing stance, represents a shift in the party's direction at a time when its relevance is under scrutiny. So let's examine what Badenoch's leadership could mean for the Tories and whether this new direction will help them reconnect with the British people or push them further away. To understand the challenge, we first need to acknowledge the current state of the Conservative Party. Historically, the Tories have been one of the most successful political parties in Western Europe, a party that traditionally appealed to a broad swath of British society. But the political landscape has changed dramatically in recent years, and the Tories have struggled to adapt. Since the Brexit referendum, the Conservatives have been plagued by internal divisions and the fallout of a decision that many now see as having mixed results for the UK. 5 prime ministers have come and gone in a short span, each facing challenges with Brexit's long-term impact and subsequent scandals that have further tarnished the party's image. Now, after their historic defeat in the July parliamentary elections, the Tories hold only 121 seats in the House of Commons, a stark reminder of how far the party has fallen. Enter Kemi Badenoch, the party's newly elected leader, who has been chosen to guide the Tories out of this low point. Badenoch is a unique figure in British politics. As the first black woman to lead a major British political party and only the 4th female leader of the Tories, she represents both change and continuity within the party. Raised in Nigeria before returning to the UK as a teenager, Badenoch has brought a global perspective to her role and has been outspoken about her conservative values. In her acceptance speech, Badenoch paid tribute to her predecessors and acknowledged the difficult times that her party has faced. She praised former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, calling his leadership during challenging times admirable, but also admitted that the party needs to face the reality of its mistakes. And this statement is significant. Badenoch has made it clear that under her leadership, the Conservatives will be honest about their missteps. But she has also hinted at a hard right approach to address what she sees as the party's core challenges. So what does this mean for the Tories' identity as a people's party? For decades, the Conservative Party has claimed to represent the everyday British citizen, from business owners to working families. But recent years have seen the party shifting towards a more ideologically driven stance, focusing on issues like Brexit and nationalism. Under Badenoch, this trend seems likely to continue, perhaps even intensify. Badenoch has long been known as a culture warrior, often pushing back against what she sees as the left-liberal establishment. Her rhetoric has focused heavily on anti-woke sentiments, championing traditional values, and calling for a return to what she views as Britain's core principles. She has been outspoken on topics like gender issues, criticizing identity politics, and calling for a limited role of the state. Some party members see this as a refreshing return to conservative fundamentals, but others worry it may alienate the broader public. There is no doubt that Badenoch's style resonates with the party's grassroots members. She is widely popular within the Tory base, who see her as a leader unafraid to speak her mind, even if her views are controversial. Her supporters view her as principled, drawing comparisons to Margaret Thatcher. But as political analyst Marc from Lancaster University pointed out, this hard-right approach may not sit well with the wider electorate. The July election results showed that most British voters still lean toward the political centre, a reality that Badenoch will have to navigate carefully. Her immediate challenge lies in winning back support from right-leaning voters who have drifted towards Nigel Farage's Reform UK party. Farage, a major architect of Brexit, has captured a significant portion of the Tory base by promoting a staunchly nationalist, anti-establishment message. To bring these voters back, Badenoch may need to adopt some of Reform UK's talking points. This, however, brings up a critical question. Can the Tories still call themselves a People's Party if they continue shifting to the right? If the party becomes too focused on appeasing a narrow segment of voters, they risk losing their traditional appeal. Historically, the Tories have been a broad church, a party that united a diverse coalition of interests. They've been able to adapt to different eras and different priorities, which is why they have endured as long as they have. But in recent years, this adaptability has been tested. Under Badenoch's leadership, the Tories may become less of a catch-all party and more of a specialized platform for socially conservative, economically right-wing voters. And this shift could come with consequences. Badenoch has spoken in favor of low taxes and free market policies, positions that align with classic conservative principles, but may not resonate with a public that's increasingly concerned about issues like inequality and public services. On issues like immigration, she has taken a hard stance, advocating for strict controls and calling for a more selective approach to who should be allowed to live in Britain. Badenoch's views on multiculturalism have also sparked debate. She has been critical of identity politics and has expressed a desire to see British society focus less on ethnic or cultural differences. This position appeals to some within the party who feel that British values are being diluted. But it could also alienate minority communities who may feel that the Tories are less inclusive under her leadership. Another factor that complicates Badenoch's mission is the Conservative Party's relationship with Brexit. Badenoch is a staunch supporter of Brexit and has made it clear that she sees the UK's departure from the EU as a positive step towards sovereignty and self-determination. Yet, for many in Britain, Brexit has come to symbolize economic hardships, disrupted supply chains, and increased political polarization. For the Tories to reclaim their status as a People's Party, they may need to address these concerns more directly. Badenoch has acknowledged the party's mistakes, but will she be willing to reconsider the Brexit legacy? Or will her loyalty to the Brexit cause lead the Tories further away from the public's current concerns? In her new role, Badenoch has promised to renew the Conservative Party and restore its relevance. But the question remains, is a hard-right approach really the answer? Some within the party worry that by moving further right, the Tories could alienate centrist and moderate voters. And if the Tories can't appeal to these voters, it's difficult to see how they will regain power. So, are the Tories still a People's Party under Kemi Badenoch? At this stage, it is of course too early to say definitively. But one thing is clear, the path she has chosen will be challenging. For Badenoch to succeed, she will need to balance the demands of her party base with the broader interests of the British public. If she veers too far to the right, she risks turning the Tories into a more niche party, one that caters to a specific ideology rather than a broad coalition of British society. The Tories have a long history, but history alone won't be enough to keep them relevant. In the coming months, we will see whether Badenoch can navigate this delicate balance, and if so, whether she can re-establish the Tories as a party for the people. So thanks for tuning in to Outside Views, and if you enjoyed this analysis, please subscribe and stay tuned for more in-depth discussions on British and post-Brexit politics. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged, and the next video is right here in the end screen.